Okay, we have match 3 here. This is from, once again, the Santa Clara Game Kastle tournament. So this is just about the halfway point tournament. We played 5 rounds. This is the 3rd round. Start to get a little bit tired towards the end of the day. Brain gets a little bit mushy. So I am Gabe on the right, and we got HB Engineering Future on the left. So he's just going to get started here, do some engineering. I was always a little bit behind the other player in terms of setting up my play area because I had to set up the camera beforehand. Sun's starting to creep into the shot here, so I think I moved after this game. So I mulligan. So HB got some money, did some installing. Oh, this credit's gonna be a little bit hard to read. So he has 7 credits over there. Yeah, so I get a, looks like I'm an account siphon, a ferry, parasite. It looks like a pretty good start. I'm always tempted to throw the ferry down and go for an account siphon in this situation. But it's a bit of a risk. It's not a huge risk if you...
Second click, I'll try for a siphon.
Yeah, so I go for it. So it's Eli. So luckily I do have the clicks to spend.
Spend the remaining 2 clicks to trigger the siphon to get through Eli. So I'll just take 8 the siphon.
And I, you know, in this matchup, I'm not too worried about taking tags early.
Yep, and I'm all up.
It's pretty uncommon to see HB with scorched earths or closed accounts even. Usually just want to keep you out of the servers in those situations. So, looks like he put a... Oh. Yeah, that was wrong. He needed to take a credit first and then install. So I missed that.
3rd click, I'll go there. Or look at, as I'll say. And 4th click.
It doesn't look like he has any agendas in hand yet.
Because the siphon gives me 2 tags. Oh my god. I've been playing.
And I think his R&D ice is something big. I felt like it was something like a Heimdall. I really need to get a Data Sucker or Desperado online soon. These runs are going to stop being efficient pretty quickly.
Install that there for 2.
So that'll help down. That'll click down that Eli, provide a little extra pressure until I can get in there again. Still got that siphon. Definitely got me a lot of money off the start there.
It's really the only downside of it.
Which only matters if you're running a bunch of resources or...
So pretty soon I'll probably draw one of the sneak door betas as well, and that'll provide another avenue of attack. There's 3 of them in the deck. I believe that's a remote server there. For some reason I'm used to the servers being set up in the opposite way. So it looks like he's probably has an agenda in hand. It would be nice to get a sneak door going.
Second click. I'll go here.
So he res his row turret. I use the ferry to break it. Check out the top card. So it brings his accounts down quite a bit again. But that will keep me out of R&D for a little while until I get I do have a dagger in the deck.
Okay, so that is that.
Okay, so pull the NAPD. Everyone's using NAPD, I saw it. Like almost every match there's NAPD being played. It's really popular. It's so good. So I had a lot of money at the time, so might as well take it. Get some points. And I think I'm gonna go fish out the dagger here, because that'll get me into R&D. Force him to put another ice over R&D. At this point I want to slow him down long enough in terms of his economy until that Eli goes away, and or until I get like Sneak Door. And I also need to get some Data Suckers and or Desperado online. Because I don't have, you know, I got that NAPD, that was good, but that was costly, and I really want to push this early game as far as I can. So that money will help. Oh, but this is something okay, I think I did consider this. I was like, yes, I do have tags, and I'm putting Armitage down, but it would take almost his whole turn to kill the Armitage. And so I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of guessed he wouldn't want to kill Armitage. And even if he did, didn't cost me that much. So it was just one of those situations where I didn't think he was going to kill the Armitage, or if he did, it would be good with me. So there's nothing, you know, what could have really screwed me there is an Inazuma. I think that's a Ash. Yeah, I decided not to trash it. That might have been a mistake. I have the Armitage, so I could have recovered that money. He puts the Ash in there. So he just got a bunch of money. He's saying that he turned himself around here. Yeah, so yeah. It felt weird to me too for some reason. That Eli's almost gone. I'm not sure how worried I am about that being an agenda back there. So I do an inside job. I figure I'll get into HQ really cheap if he doesn't res the front, or force him to res that front so I can see what's there and get in there, looking at a card. So I see that Ash that I should have trashed before, but I think he has 2 Ashes in hand. So, but yeah, I trash it, and I just take some more money off of that Armitage before he trashes it.
Don't forget to take your game money for hitting HQ. Yes, you're right. I started with 4. Thank you.
Yeah, so he reminds me to take the Gabe money. I don't think I took it. We have a pretty... I like that players are pretty friendly about that stuff, and I try and be friendly with people too. Just, you know, if there's something that should have happened, and... I think that was part of my plan for that inside job too, is I figured I'd make the money back pretty easily at least. So I think he puts an agenda down, and he's hoping that Ash will protect it. I only have one of those inside jobs in the deck, so... Silencer's down, that gets me through a lot of sentries, although, yeah, I guess get through most of the HP sentries.
Third click, I'll go here.
Oh, so that was a 3rd click run. I just wasn't expecting I think it's a Heimdall too, and so he spends most of his money. I can't click through it, so
I'll take 2 brain damage.
I'm gonna take the 2 brain damage, and it ends the run. But you know, honestly, I'm not so upset about that. You know, I'm not like, brain damage doesn't bother me that much. I'm not so focused on like drawing a ton of cards where I'm gonna run out of hand space. And in that case, like, he went from 12 credits down to 1. And so I know he's not going to be able to resist probably, right? So last click I go in, there's no traps that could hurt me. I'll get some money, and I'll look at one of the cards. So take out a corporate troubleshooter. More than happy to do that. And so he's not going to be able to score at that agenda this turn, and I could click through that Heimdall next turn to go get it, if I don't mind taking another brain damage. Draws a biotic. So this got a little bit weird here. He wanted to undo that draw, which, you know, you're in a tournament, and you know, if you draw, you should keep it. But I don't know. He was a little bit of a newer player, and we were playing a friendly game, and so I said sure, just shuffle it back in. And this is because he wanted to take a couple of credits so that he could score out that I think it's an accelerated beta test in that server on his following turn. So yeah, you know, it's a weird thing, but that's fine. We're playing a friendly game here. It's a tournament, but it's like we're playing for, like, you know, mats and cards and stuff, so it's not a big deal. Nothing big on the line here. So I think I'm deciding here if it's worth going, like, spend my turn to get through that Heimdall. I don't know what I was hoping to draw. There's nothing really in my deck that would help me get through that Heimdall. I guess if I did draw the Corroder, I could just probably buy my way through it. But I guess I decided to just let him have it. And yeah, so he doesn't want to res that ice if he's able to. So I see, I think that was a Janus, and he has a restructure in hand too. So letting him score at that agenda is not a horrible thing, because that'll just be his first 2 points. Yeah, I'm just hoping to see it. It's like not a whole lot of agendas in this game yet. So he's probably just going to score. It looks like he drew another ABT. So it could work out. I go into HQ some more this turn and pull the other ABT, and that was a cheaper way to get ABT. So he's running the beta test, and it's a no-go. It is not ready for the users, and so I'm definitely going to be going into archives here at some point in this turn, no doubt. Yeah, so I go HQ while the getting's good. Get some money and hopefully pull the ABT. No. Go see if there's any agendas there. No, so it was just some money and biotic labor. So yeah, that was still. I mean, it could have been worse if there was an agenda in that ABT, but that's still pretty horrible. And so I think he puts down another agenda there, and he has the money to score it. So outside of fast advance, that's still pretty incredible that HB Engineer Future can just throw an agenda down and have enough money at the end of the turn to score it out, you know, from 0 credits. I could have said that a lot more eloquently, but you get the idea. And so if I had a Siphon here, I think that would be a good play.
I'm going to Dirty Laundry right here.
So I Dirty Laundry in there.
2 clicks to,
and I'm going to be eating another brain damage here.
so I'll take a brain damage.
Just a little brain damage.
I got 5 of them. These are just like resources to spend.
He brains me for a special order. I did cover up the Dirty Laundry there. And so he's Rez's Ash is going to be a Trace 4. I have plenty of money, though, to buy through it. So
4 to match the Trace.
So it'd be a really good... If that wasn't an agenda, if that was another upgrade or something, that'd be pretty great. So score that did cost me a lot, and I'm trashing the Ash because that is way too expensive. I can't keep just taking brain damage. I can only do that 2 more times. I'm gonna need a breaker, and I'm spending all my clicks here on ice. So, and I forgot the Desperado there. So I felt like I didn't have enough money here. Like I felt like I should have more money. And It's I'll figure it out in a second here. Don't worry. Yeah. So there's there's the dirty laundry money sitting under the special order. And so he draws another card. So he was about to install an ice over archives. So he does. I think he has 2 credits there. Yeah, and he has 4.
First click, I'll draw a card.
Oh, so I draw the Corroder.
Second click,
I-
I'll run HQ.
So another roto turret. That cost him his whole econ. It only cost me 2 money, and I get money back. So that actually is a profit for me. That is the power of Criminal right there. See a restructure, which at this point is 10 clicks away from being able to be triggered.
Third click,
You see those restructures, and your goal, sort of a mini game, becomes
I'll pay 2. I'll get 1 back for Desperado.
making sure that they can't trigger it. Oh, so I pull the Project Wotan up the top for the win. Yeah, those rotor turrets ended up being a big liability in that game. Just I had the answers for them. They're so expensive to res. It looked like it had a data pike above R&D as well. Should have been a little annoying. I'd have to go get a Yogg then to get through that. So that is the end. This is the halfway point of the day. I was ran out of caffeinated tea at this point, so I think it's almost about time to get some more caffeine. I think I get it towards the end of the day, just to keep track of the caffeine consumption here. It's a statistic everyone cares about. All right, that's the end of the game, and we'll have more soon.